What it do, people? It's the MMA guys back at it. We got a video today. We're doing Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, and it's an interesting fight to talk about to a certain extent. But I'm just gonna cut to the chase, and I know a lot of people are gonna kind of write him off because of the situation that happened in the Rolly fight. But I really think Ryan Garcia is gonna dismantle Mario Barrios. I think it's gonna be an easy KO. And here's the thing, guys. Mario Barrios, he used to be pretty good. I mean, he lost to Tank. That was at a certain point in his career. But like, he's a decent fighter. I just feel like I don't know if he's washed because when you look at MMA fighters and they're 30 years old, they're in absolute prime shape. This guy has 32 fights though, so he has quite a bit of fights. And he's a Mexican guy. They take a lot of shot and stuff. It just feels like maybe it's his durability. Maybe when he gets punched, he doesn't. It's a situation like that. I don't think he's physically less good than he was, but when he was in his fight with Abel, I don't remember, and he started just losing rounds after rounds, and I was like, God damn, this guy. It's insane that this is a world championship fight. Now, granted, he looked good in that fight until he started to, I don't know, lose rounds after rounds, and I was like, okay, this is not a good look. And the big thing that I see is Ryan Garcia waited in 30 days before his fight. He was 151.5, which is insane. Okay, I mean, I know MMA and boxing, there's a difference in like the weight cut because you fight for 12 rounds, so it's a bit different. But Ryan Garcia was clearly extremely undisciplined in his fight with Devin Haney. To get to that point where he's winning 151 right now and fighting at 147, it's like this guy is not in the right weight class. Not that he's not in the right weight class, because it doesn't really matter in the end. Like guys like Floyd, like in boxing, it's not like MMA with the grappling. So, but I just want to make it straight boxing. Now, Mario Barrios as at a draw with a 47 years old Manny Pacquiao, which is not a good look because in 2021, your Dennis Yuga absolutely dismantled Manny Pacquiao, like whooped him. And Yordenis Yuga is a good fighter. He was never a absolute cream of the crop champion. And you got a guy like Ryan Garcia who's out here knocking down and bobbing Devin Haney, who's at 147 whooping the guy who just got the best KO, Brian Norman Jr. And you got a guy like, I mean, Devin Haney has beaten Vasily Lomachenko. Granted, I don't think he won that fight, but just being competitive with Vasily Lomachenko on a technical level, and you're talking about a guy like Ryan Garcia who's knocking down that guy, and I know y'all are gonna say that, but y'all are gonna say, dude, did he just compare Ryan Garcia to Vasily Lomachenko? Absolutely not. I'm not saying he's the same level boxer. I'm saying like in terms of physicality and everything, in terms of like speed of reaction and stuff, he's able to keep up with people who are able to keep up, like that are able to match that kind of pace and style, and he's able to land knockdowns on people at that level. Okay? I know that Annie had a big size advantage against Vasily. Huge size advantage. He showed up 165 pounds in a 135-pound fight, and Vasily was coming up in weight from 130. Talking about a guy who was probably like who barely cuts weight to go to 135. So I mean, there's a difference. Granted, there's a huge difference in like the terms of quality, but he was still able to keep up volume and everything wise. And now when you look at Ryan, he also whooped Luke Campbell, who didn't look so bad against Vasily Lomachenko. If you remember it, he didn't look bad at all in his fight with him. Devin Haney also beat Jorge Linares when he was on the older side of things, granted. But I mean, all I'm saying is that this guy, okay, Now, he had his performance with Rolly Romero, which is the only point that makes people think, oh, Mario Barrios might whoop him, okay? And the size difference, the bit of a size difference. But, I mean, we've seen Tank have success against Mario Barrios, so I'm not going to start acting like, oh, yeah, the size difference is going to play a big factor. And it's not like Mario Barrios, a guy that really be moving like that, okay? He's not going to be like, Marvin Aglering on Ryan Garcia. There's no shot. And you can't really do that against Ryan Garcia. You can't really push him forward, stuff, because he has that devastating left hook he's going to land. Rolly Romero has a different kind of physicality and volume and retard strength in there. So I also think that Rolly Romero could potentially batter a guy like Mario Barrios, to be honest. Especially after his performance against Abel. I can't remember his last name. Abel Trios on the Jake Paul undercard. So I'm going to pick Ryan Garcia to beat the brakes of Mario Barrios. I already impulsively, not that long ago, touched the Mario Barrios money line at plus 175, which was a terrible move. Because now that I'm doing the analysis on this fight, looking at resume, because it's important to know this, guys. The only reason I was able to... Now, I pick upsets in MMA all the time. Like, I was able to pick Gagey to whoop Paddy Pimblett. And the reason why is simple. Level of competition is the only thing that matters. A guy who's 75-0 against 6 out of 10's opponents. Meanwhile, a guy who's 7-3 and his 3 losses are to 8 out of 10's opponents, and he has wins against 7 out of 10 opponents. He's better than the guy who's 75-0 against 6 out of 10's opponents. That's the reality of the game. And as long as people don't know that, I will be making money on the betting side of things. So, this is it. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you, drop a like, comment. Let me know what you guys think of this fight. Like, who do you think? Are you picking Ryan Garcia? Are you picking Mario Barrios? And why? Either way. And subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm also going to start covering F1 a little bit. Very hyped about the new season, so